Morning class. In the previous video, we have done a very important law in electrostatic. We can say without that law, we can't move forward in electrostatic or electrodynamics, and that was Coulomb's law. Before I move further, let us quickly revise that what was the Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law states that suppose we have two charges Q1 and Q2 and they are separated by a distance r, then the force of attraction or repulsion that depend upon the nature of the charges depend upon their it is proportional to product of their charges, that is F proportional to Q1 Q2 and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So if we combine both the laws, we'll get F proportional to Q1 Q2 upon R square, or when we remove this proportionality sign, we'll get F equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. This was the Coulomb's law. The value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught was 9 into 10 to the power 9, and here epsilon naught was permittivity of free space. Today we'll start with the Coulomb's law in vector form. So before discussing the Coulomb's law in vector form, you must know what was the triangular law of vector addition. Triangular law of vector addition says that if the two sides of triangle taken in the same order represent two vector quantities, let's say this is A and B, then the third side of triangle taken in the opposite order represent their magnitude. That means this will be R will be equals to A plus B. You can see here A and B, they are taken in the same order, but now going we are this but we are not going like this. We are going A to B here, B to from this to this point here, but we are not coming toward the point A. We are going in a different direction. That's why I said A vector and B vector represent the two sides of triangle taken in the same order, then the resultant represent by the third side taken in the opposite order, R. Now why I'm discussing this? Because as I said, next topic we are doing is Coulomb's law in vector form. So before doing the vector form, you must know what was the triangular law of vector addition. So I just put it here so that you will not find any difficulty when we solve the Coulomb's law in vector form. All right. So now we are doing the Coulomb's law in vector form. Coulomb's law in vector form. Let's suppose we have two charges. This is Q1 and this is Q2. And we are observing these two charges from a point, let's say O. This is a point O. Now the position vector of Q1 from O is, let's say, R1. This is R1, and of Q2 is R2. Now the distance between the q1 and q2. Let's suppose first we are calculating the distance between q1 and q2. That means I am going from q1 to q2. Then the diagram will be like this. This is R1, this is R2, and this will be R12. Okay, what will the value of this? Because we are going in this direction. This is q1 and this is q2. We are going in this direction. Let's say this vector is, suppose x. Now come this side. Compare this diagram with this diagram. Now take two sides which are in the same order, like this, a and b. So you can see that this r1 and x, they both are in the same direction. They are both taken in the same manner. So we can write it as r1 and plus x, and this is r2 is taken in the opposite order. That will be equals to r2. So what will be x here? X will be nothing but r2 minus r1, right? So position vector from q1 to q2, this we will write here position vector from q1 to q2. इसको हम बोल सकते हैं what? We can write as r2 minus r1, r2 minus r1, or simply we can write it as r21, right? So this side is r21, and similarly if you take the position vector from q2 to q1, now this diagram will become like this. This is r2, this is r1, and now it will be in this direction, like this. So let's say now this is x. Now again compare this diagram from the triangular law. Now r2 plus x equals to r1, right? From this diagram it will be r2 plus x equals to r1, or simply x equals to r1 minus r2. That means position vector from q2 to q1 will be in this direction. So position vector from q2 to q1 will be what? R1 minus R2. That will be equals to R12. So that's why I'm saying why the triangular law is important. See, in solving the questions of electrostatics, especially the electrical field and the Coulomb's law, you must know how to apply the triangular triangular law of vector addition, because almost in every numerical the law is supposed to use. Now let's move further. What will be the force experienced by Q1 due to Q2? Now force experienced by Q1 due to Q2, that will be, let's say this is F12, right? Force experienced by due to Q2, that the constant 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square, and the position vector R12. See, this is R12, this is R21, and what is R here? R is nothing but it is the magnitude of the distance between these two charges. Here, this magnitude of R21 is equals to magnitude of R12 is equals to R, right? That is the value of R here. Now if you remember again in vectors, the position vector A is the unit vector A is equals to vector A upon mod A. So this unit vector R12 we can write as position vector R12 upon magnitude of R12, right? So I'm rubbing it all. All right. So R12 unit vector can be written as R vector of R12 upon mod of R12, which is R. So by putting this value, what we'll get? We'll get F12 is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R cube into R12. So this is the force. This is the force in vector form which is acted on the charge Q1 due to the charge Q2. That is equation number 1. Similarly, what will be the force experienced by Q2 due to Q1? Force experienced by Q2 due to Q1, that will be F21. So similarly from the first equation, that will be equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R cube in R21, equation number 2. Now, what is R12 and what is R21? This is basically position vectors between the charges Q1 and Q2. And you know that from the previous diagram which I made here, that R12 is basically equals to minus R21 because they both are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So we know that R12 is equals to minus of R21, right? So if we put the value of R12 in equation number 1, what will we get? We will get if we put this value, so we'll get F12 is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R cube and minus of R21. And you know that it is nothing but this is F21. So this become F12 is equals to minus of F21. So from this derivation, we got to know, we find the result that forces acting on both the charges, it is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. It means that the two charges Q1 and Q2 we were having here, that was Q1 and Q2. So if Q1 experiences a force of, let's say, 10 Newton in this direction, then Q2 is also experiencing a force 10 Newton on the other side due to the Q1. So this is the significance of the Coulomb's law in vector form. We find the conclusion that it creates a central force. This condition is only applicable in central forces. Like other central forces is gravitation force. In gravitation force also we find the same result. That it is like if you calculate the force exerted by Earth on the moon, let's say it's F. So similarly, moon also exert the same amount of force on us. It is like not like that Earth is very big in size, so we are exerting more force on the moon. No, it's not like that. They both are central forces, and in central forces, the amount of force acting on either of body, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. This was the Coulomb's law in vector form. Let's have a small numerical problem based on the Coulomb's law. Suppose we have two charges. Let's say Q1 and Q2, whose values are, let's say Q1 is 3 microcoulomb and Q2 is 9 microcoulomb, and they are separated by a distance r, where r is 3 centimeter, and we have to find the electrostatic force between them. So this is a basic numerical based on the Coulomb's law. Let's see what is the answer. We know that force of attraction or repulsion. See here, you can see that both the charges are of same sign, positive sign. That means there must be repulsive force between them. This Q1 experiences a force toward this side due to Q2, and similarly Q2 experiences a force toward this side due to Q1. Now, because just we have done in the Coulomb's vector law that both the forces are equal in magnitude, so we don't have to calculate both the forces, because we know the value of F12 is exactly equal to the F21, just the direction is opposite. We'll find only one force, that is F, which is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square, right? Okay, what is it? The value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, if you remember, it was 9 into 10 to the power 9. Q1 given 3 microcoulomb. So 3, again micro is minus 6. So 10 to the power minus 6 into Q2 is 9 into 10 to the power minus 6 upon R square. R is 3 centimeter. So first convert centimeter to meter, because all of these quantities are in MKS. So 3 into 10 to the power minus 2, now convert into meter square. That's what we'll get. This will 9 into 3 into, this will be minus 6 minus, that will be minus 12, and plus 9 minus 12 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 3 upon 3 to the 9, 3 to the 9, and into 10 to the power minus 4. So we can cancel out this, and this will go upwards, become 10 to the power plus 4. So plus 4 and minus 8 will go to 10 to the power 1. So this will come around F equals to 27 into 10 to the power 1, obviously. But if you remember in class 11, this is not the correct method to write this answer. When we write any answer in the power of 10, then this must be less than 10 or greater than 1. So this must be written as F equals to 2.7 into 10 to the power 2 Newton. So this is an example of Coulomb's law numerical. We have so many numericals in our notebook, in your textbook. We'll do all of these numericals. I'll make a video on the numericals as well. I'll solve some of the numericals. I'll give the solutions and I'll send it to you. But see, it is not possible to complete. I think in this chapter we have almost 40-50 numericals. So it was possible to solve each and every numericals, but yeah, I'll give some of the example. I will make a video. I'll send the notes to you. And if you find any difficulty in numerical, you can ask me out. Thank you very much.